how are you? It's Travis in here, and welcome back to our adventures in the Burning Crusade. Today we are in Stormwind, guys, and we're going to finally upgrade some abilities here. Flashlight rank 7, Seal of Righteousness rank 9, Seal of Wisdom rank 4, Spiritual Attunement rank 2, Ret Aura rank 6. And there we go. So let's get these on our bars, guys. I think we'll hurt the Shatrath City. I tried to get enchanting up, but we ran out of arcane dust. Got the 316. But yeah, we'll hang out here in Aldor Rise, guys, when we get these bars set up. So was a Flash of Light rank 7. There we go. Seal of Righteousness rank 9. It's good to get that finally. Pretty big upgrade. 57 holy damage for each melee attack now, instead of 54. And when we unleash the seal, it could do up to 233 holy damage instead of 203. So it's a decent upgrade, not too big. And Seal Wisdom rank 4, nice. We're going to get 121 mana instead of 90 mana per swing now. Nice. And when we unleash, when we judge an enemy, we have a chance to restore 74 mana now instead of 59. And then Spiritual Attunement rank 2. There it is. It's a passive ability. Gives the Paladin mana when healed by other friendly targets. The amount of mana gained is equal to 10% now of the amount healed. And the last one is Red Aura, which now causes 26 holy damage to any creature that strikes a party member within 30 yards. Not bad. Alright, guys. Well, we're going to switch to Ret spec. And then we'll probably put these up as well on the red side. So you need to do that. But while we're doing that, guys, we will have a little drink here. And then we're going to make our way to Nagrand. Do a little questing in Nagrand today. We probably won't do another spell cleave group like that. Like, I usually run with spell cleave groups, so we don't like do massive pulls or I die and end up sitting on the floor for the entire pull. Which happened quite a bit in that dungeon, but it's fine, you know. We're a squishy tank right now. We don't have a lot of stamina. Gear kind of sucks. Like, I still have bracers from, you know, vanilla. So we got a ways to go before we're a beefy tank that can handle massive pulls like that for a certain amount of time. It's probably pretty tough for the healer to keep me up. Had to be, you know, ready to go. Like, had to pretty much have me like healed 2 seconds after I did everyone like collapsed on me. I really needed to heal. So it's pretty tough for the healer as well. I know I didn't play perfect, right? Okay, everybody probably could have played better. Even the DPS, you can get your AoE out a little sooner. But it was fun trying it out. So we got it all set up. Seal Wisdom rank 4, rank 9. And Flashlight, nice. Alright, so it's all set up. Got our abilities, guys, all ready to go. And we're in Nagrand again. And we'll be heading over to go see Eminescingwary today. Switch to ret spec here, or ret gear. Look who it is, the hunter. Hunters always beat the crap out of me, man. Well, but they're beating the crap out of my my warlock. Can we fight that guy?
There I was, tumbling in a patch of prickly undergrowth.
There's Eminescingwary here.
Hand
Looks a little older,
only
eh?
My sharp knife and keen hunter's intellect to save me. All of a sudden, I'm jumped by a pair of fierce windrock hunters that came at me from the skies. Their cowardly attack didn't help them any, though. And while I have their beaks as trophies, I received an infected scratch out of the ordeal. Kind of nasty, and I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm sure it'll heal up in a day or two. I don't think that I'm up to the hunt today. Do you think that you might take my place? I told Hemet that I was going to see about bagging us some of those talbuk that seem to be all over the place. The stags are especially nice to hunt. You can find them congregated around the nearby trees. Think that you could take care of that for me?
You want to earn a place in this safari? You'll have to prove yourself. I don't care what you hunted before. You haven't hunted until you hunt what we hunt here. Todd with the cleft hoof if you're man enough. I know that I've seen them in the immediate area around the safari and also close by to the south.
Do you live for the hunt, as I do, adventurer? Do you seek the quietude that comes as you stalk your prey? Would you know what it is to honor the last heartbeats of your fallen quarry? I will help you to achieve this. Nagrand is a lush land, full of life in the midst of this broken world. Bring down a handful of the windrocks and then we will speak more. You can find them in many places nearby, in all directions around our camp.
Alright, well it's quite a few windrocks we need to slay. We'll be out here for quite a while. There's another Paladin. Great quest chain to have skinning. Pretty much skin all these mobs. Probably have to group up if we want to take down the elites. And 3 more levels to go, guys. And we will be level 70. Our slash plate is right now. I have a bit of AFK time, but yeah, our 8 days, 12 hours. Insane. Say 8 days, we'll have 12 hours of AFK time. Potentially. Sometimes I'm just AFK in town. Especially on this Paladin, because I'm trying. Sometimes I just AFK while in town, trying to keep the mage waters. Right, because if you log off for 15 minutes, you lose the mage waters, and I usually just stay on to keep them. I thought of something today. You know what's crazy? A character boost to level 58 in WoW is like 60 USD, right? And the game that won Game of the Year last year, Play Obscure, supposedly cost $50. Like, how insane is that? I think they charge way too much for the character boost, but it makes sense why they do that. Right, they should I don't know, I guess they're saving you, right, 6 days worth of playtime, I guess, if you don't want to do that. So that's probably why they charge so much. But they are probably making a killing off of that. While I was like just hanging out in Stormwind in the cathedral, I seen like 3 or 4 paladins come up to the trainer with communal gear at level 58. Just getting their abilities. It's clearly a popular option. And it probably happens a lot. Like, say you're like playing a class and you don't really like it, and you want to make the switch, but you feel like there isn't much time for you to like make the switch because you know, next year TBC will be done. So you just decide to, you know, pay the $60 and the character boost. Probably happens quite a bit. I like the Paladin, though. I'm enjoying him. Probably going to keep playing when we hit 70. Join the Warlock as well. I think those are like 2 classes are kind of hard not to enjoy in TBC. They're both pretty damn good. Really looking forward to getting to 70. I want to try the gold farm in Stratholme. See if I can actually do it. I obviously want to do like Karazhan, Cruel Slayer, all that stuff. It'll be fun tanking that. Supposedly, like, Karazhan's easier than Heroics, so probably try to hop into that as soon as we can. Might try to get a little bit of loot, though, before we go in, but I've heard of people just going right into it. When they hit 70, like, you don't really need the best gear to complete it. I wonder what the heck he was doing there. This guy's name's Trimdimiz. I thought his name was Trindamir. The champion from League of Legends. It's cool that they released Clair Obscure for $50. Clearly they were trying to build like a good rapport with gamers by doing that. I hope they continue to keep the games at a $50 price point. I think that's a good price point for games. Once you start getting close to like $100, it becomes kind of expensive. Pretty expensive at that price. Swaps. I'm gonna try to figure out how to change that, but the thing is, once we get to 70, guys, I'm gonna be using LVYs, so I don't have to really worry about what's going on with Bartender. Grant's such a great zone, man. Especially when you start out with these Reminiscing quests, just pretty much every mob you have a quest for is just right around the corner. Is that gonna gank me? It's Druid? No, he's just running by. See a lot of Druids with that. He has, what's that called? Nagafogger up. They just don't like the shapeshift form, so they Nagafogger. And we Nagafoggered there. We just feel light. There we go. Now we got the elixir going there. Got our own little Nagafogger going. Play as a skeleton for today. And Resident Evil Requiem, it's been out for a bit. Supposedly it's doing pretty good. Seen some good news about it. Never really got too deep into Resident Evil. It'll be a cool franchise to eventually check out. There's so many games. Supposedly this new one is connected to the lore of the game for the lore of the first few games. So if I was going to play it, I'd probably would want to play like 1, 2, 3, and 4 from what I've heard, all the way up to 8 potentially, right? I think that's always the daunting thing about playing a new series. Like, you don't want to just hop in and you just don't understand the story at all, and everything just flies over your head. Okay, killing Klaptos. Maybe, maybe not. Gonna kill me. Yeah. He's killing me, alright. I missed my stun. See you later, buddy. I'll wait for our bubble to fall off. He disappear? What the heck happened there? We gotta mount up, guys. Can't I mount up? Run away, dude. Because I have... This guy's just... He's really trying to kill me, this hunter. Let's go this way. Such a pain, man. Their pets do so much damage. I was trying to fight him on my warlock, and this guy's pet would just like 3-shot me. I think with Bubble, we might be able to kill a hunter, potentially. I'm not too sure what you would want to do, though. Do you kill his... I think what you do against hunters, you have to kill their pets. And then once the pet's dead, especially if they're Beast Mastery, which is most of them, once their pet's dead, they're pretty much Well, they're much weaker, so you could probably kill them after you kill their pet. I might try that next time. Just attack the pet. Like, stunning the pet's probably a great idea as well, because that's who's doing the most damage. PvP will be fun at 72. It'll be fun checking out some battlegrounds as well. Maybe we'll farm like a PvP set. Should probably wait to get some PvE stuff though before we go in. We'll just get completely wrecked if we decide to just start BGing once we hit level 70. Especially Arena. Arena will get smacked. Eat this fish here. Probably want to do mana tunes a few more times. The Nexus Bracers of Vigor would be a massive upgrade for us. Haven't been too lucky with bracers yet. We'll probably continue questing at 70, guys, from time to time. Maybe we'll have an episode where we just go out and quest, make a little bit of gold. Because we won't really get to see all the zones from 60 to 70. We're leveling kind of fast. I try to mix it up, though. I didn't want to just do dungeons the entire way. The next dungeon I think we'll do will potentially be MoveAny Crypts. We have some quests for this one. Got a plate helmet, the Hope Bearer helm, 30 strength. It's a good upgrade right there. That's 200 armor upgrade, 30 strength, 23 agi, 19 stand with 3 sockets, and 13 hit rating. I would say that's an upgrade. And then XR Maladar. Supposedly this guy hits pretty hard on heroic. Wonder if we'll be able to handle him on normal. He's got some pretty good trinkets. Fetish of the Fallen, 56 attack power. The next opponent killed within 15 seconds that yields experience or honor will restore 900 health. Not a bad trinket. A huge crit there. We should be playing midnight right now. I haven't started yet, but it should be on the channel. I plan on playing soon. But I'm not sure if we'll play on Moonguard, I believe it's called. Is that the name of the server? Yeah, it's Moonguard. The RP server. I'm debating on it. Supposedly it's like a really social server, if you're into that. I think it would be a nice change from the servers that we're currently used to. Even this server's kind of like this. It's just like a go, you know, try to get loot server. That's how a lot of these servers are. This server's a little bit social though. We've had some fun little social, you know, events, I think, right? Had some good dungeon groups. They were pretty chill. I think Classic is just kind of like that, though. But I've heard on retail like, it can get a little bit toxic, especially with Mythic Plus. I haven't done Mythic Plus since Shadowlands, and even back then it was pretty sweaty. If you mess up on a pull, people just leave the key. They believe the key's, like, you know, not going to work out. Yeah, maybe we'll check it out. The thing is, if I play on Moonguard, we'll probably end up, like, trying out some RP. Why not? Let's download the Total RP add-on and try to make a story about the character we're playing. I did a little story with my dwarf and my shaman, I believe, that I played on Grobulus, which was a classic WoW RP PvP server. So I'm not completely, you know, foreign to it. Supposedly, some people can get a little bit elitist when it comes to lore on those servers. Like, knowing your lore is I wouldn't say it's a big deal, but it's got to be people, they care more about the lore on Moonguard because it lines up with RP, right? Some people want the lore of their character to line up with the lore of the game. But the lore of the game is so, you know, messed up now. Especially in retail. With all the multiple timelines. Like, really, like, you can kind of say anything. Like, I could bring this Paladin to retail or to midnight and say, like, he went through the dark portal, but something, like, wrong happened, something weird happened, and he teleported to this timeline instead of going to Outland. He's like, where the heck am I? I think that'd be kind of like a fun little story. I wonder if I would run into any, like, RP snobs about that, though. Saying that it doesn't line up with with the lore or something. It'd be interesting meeting people like that, though. That's why I'm kind of interested in maybe checking it out. Because on like regular servers, non-RP servers, usually the elitists are the people who have, like, high Mythic Plus rating, or they're like Mythic rating, stuff like that. And they expect you to know everything about the dungeon and the raid, which is fair. But then supposedly on Moonguard, it's the opposite. It's like the opposite. It's like really social, but some people can be lore snobs, from what I've heard. But we'll see for ourselves. I think I'll probably check it out. And it would be fun leveling a character on a new server where I have, like, no characters or any gold. The thing about retail, though, is you could buy gold if you really need it. You know, it's not really frowned upon. That's been good. The WoW token's been going on since Warlords of Draenor. So over 10 years. Kind of crazy how it's been out for that long. I remember when it first came out, the WoW token was like 20k gold. I think even less than that. And the reason why they released it is because people were making so much gold in Warlords of Draenor. And the way that they were making gold, I was doing this wasn't really doing it to the extent some people were. But what people were doing, there was this mission table in your garrison. And what people would do is they would level like a bunch of alts. And they'd all have like mission table missions. And they would just do a bunch of good ones that give you gold. And they would pretty much just be making gold without even really doing anything. They'd just be completing the missions on their mission table. And just raking in the gold on multiple characters. And that's why they introduced the WoW token, because there was clearly a lot of gold inflation at that time. It's another reason why people think Warlords of Draenor is probably one of the worst expansions, is because it was the expansion that introduced the WoW token as well, which is frowned upon. Kind of forget to mention that one. Kind of forgot about that as well. Usually I just assume that it was bad. Well, the main reason why people didn't like it is because of garrisons and nobody was out in the open world. Everyone would just hang out in their garrison. You wouldn't even see anybody in Stormwind or Ironforge or Orgrimmar. Because you could pretty much just queue up for everything from your garrison. And do everything that you could do in Stormwind or Orgrimmar in your garrison as well. But yeah, it was the WoW token expansion as well. I think we'll see WoW token come out for TBC. I know I've mentioned this a few times already, but people just keep complaining about gold and botters and stuff, and Blizzard's not going to do anything about it, then we're most likely going to see the WoW token eventually. But I won't buy gold on the characters for as long as I can. I won't buy gold while we're leveling up. That's for sure. But if we get into raiding and like we want to like enchant our gear or whatever, and like I don't have enough time to like, you know, get in to do that, or like I'm really struggling for gold, maybe I would purchase some gold, maybe potentially, if I was really enjoying the expansion. But we could just level another character that's good at making gold, and we could get another few professions for him. I'd probably level a druid. That would be my second character for gold making gold. Just play as a boomkin. Because there's always these raw gold farm groups that you can join. They have these hyper spawns. People always find these hyper spawns in every expansion. I don't know if they still exist, but I noticed when I was playing, like, there was always a hyper spawn you could go to. Even in Shadowlands, there was one. And boomkins are pretty popular for that because they have Moonfire, pretty long-ranged ability, and it's instant cast, so you can just run around and pull all these hyperspawn mobs. And you pull it to a monk. With that monk tank, I believe it would be a Brewmaster monk, and they have this statue up that like kind of taunts everything and brings it together. And you just AoE everything down, and boomkins are great at that as well. With Starfall and all the dots that they can put up on mobs. So that would probably be the second class I level up is Druid. Druid's like my favorite class in retail. I did it a lot. One of my favorite classes. Cool thing about leveling not on Moonguard is I have a bunch of characters on Bleeding Hollow. They're not max level, but I have a few 80s right now from Legion Remix, and then I also leveled a Hunter to 80 in the War Within. So we'd have a few characters. I'd have a Demon Hunter and a Hunter. And then I have a bunch of other characters that are probably like level 40 to 60 that I just haven't touched in a long time. So that's the benefit of playing on my main server. I think it would be cool just checking out a new server. See what the experience is like. Because that's another thing I want to do too. Is like, what's World of Warcraft like in the year of 2026? And see what it's like playing as, I guess, a new player. I'm not a new player, but I get to sort of see what they would be going through. If you're just playing it, you know, on a new server with no gold or anything, and you don't know anybody. Yeah, I think we'll probably kind of talk myself into it there. And don't worry if like I'm not gonna quit playing TBC or quit these playthroughs because I'm playing retail, guys. I'm just gonna casually play retail. Sort of how I just casually play TBC. And I hope Midnight's a good expansion. I've heard great things about the War Within. Supposedly it was pretty damn good. So, I guess, you know, Midnight will probably be decent. They keep it going. People don't really rank. I don't really see people ranking War Within as like their favorite expansion of all time. But they do rank it like just under it as like a pretty good expansion that they enjoyed playing. Usually the rank ones I see is like TBC, Wrath of Lich King. It's usually up there. Legion's like one that's up there quite often, and Mist of Pandaria. A lot of Mist of Pandaria enjoyers. I like Mist of Pandaria as well. I hope they make the classic server. They don't go to Warlords of Draenor. It would be cool if they just made it an eternal Mist of Pandaria server. Maybe we could, you know, eventually go back to Pandas and check it out. Because I do have a character there that's... I have two characters, actually. I have my Druid on the Horde side, and I have a Monk on the Alliance side. And they're both level 85. And there's there's catch-up mechanics that they've added to Pandas, so you could catch up pretty quick. You know, there's dungeons that you can do. These like Omega Alpha dungeons. I forget what they call them, but they're dungeons that give you previous tier raid loot. And you can catch up gear-wise pretty damn quick by doing them. Started doing that in Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So, you know, if you were a person that missed out on the first 2 phases, you could catch up and raid with your friends. And it makes sense that they did that in Wrath, because in most raids in Wrath, like, the previous tier raid loot gets completely replaced by the next tier. That's when that started happening, was Wrath of the Lich Kings. It wouldn't really work in TBC, because in TBC there's like it's sort of like vanilla. There's like a piece of loot that you want from some early raids, like the Gruul's Lair, Dragon's Spine Trophy, for example. Everybody, you know, is trying to get one of those. They're a melee DPS or even a tank. We'll be trying to get that on our Paladin. We can find a group that doesn't hard res it, or maybe we'll have to make our own hard res group for it. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna do that though. Not a fan of making groups, especially if you're hard resing like the best loot. It's really hard to actually get a group going when you're doing that. I guess it's probably not that bad. You just get a Gruul's Lair with a bunch of casters. And then I would tank it, and then maybe some melee DPS will come in. And if you're a tank hard resing something, I don't know why, but it just doesn't feel like, for me, I don't really feel too bad, because you know what, you're tanking the raid and leading it, so you getting an item for that is fine by me. I've always been pretty pro, like, making sure your tank gets geared up. But I know, like, this isn't a guild thing, it's just a pug. So it's not really your tank, you're not in the guild with them, but I don't really mind tanks hard resing loot. The more tanks that have loot to tank in the server, the better, right? That's how the better the server will be. Because it is a rare role. So we'll try to find some more cleft tips here, guys. I know we haven't really played too many wind rocks, but we'll eventually get that one going. Oh, 2 big crits there. Nice. Yeah, it's a lot to level a character up. I can see why people just boost. Like, we're at like 8 days right now. And then there's like the AFK time, so. That's like 6 months, right? If you only play an hour a day, that's like over 6 months to level a character. Maybe even like a little bit longer than that. And at this point, 6 months will probably be... You'll still be okay, though. You can still do it. Probably be in Black Temple. Or potentially we'll be in the phase where Zulaman comes out. Which is the big catch-up phase. Windrock there. So you still have time to level a character, I think. It's just, you'll miss out on a few phases, which is fine, though. You can always... Cool thing about TBCs, there will always be people going back to Gruul's Lair, Karazhan, you know, SSC, Serpent Shrine Cavern, right? Tempest Keep. So you can experience all the raids, even at a later date. There's really no rush. That's the cool thing about vanilla and TBCs. People still do the old content. Doesn't just become, you know, useless, I guess you could say. Or a waste of time. Gear-wise. My Warlock will I think my Warlock will be 70. Warlock's pretty far away. I'm hoping to start playing. I'm going to play the Warlock a bit more, though, when we hit 70 on the Paladin. So hopefully speed him up a bit to get him to 70. Pretty close to level 40, so I wouldn't say halfway. I think halfway is actually probably level 60 or maybe 50. Probably level 50, in the 50s is like halfway to 70. So we're getting there. I'd say 50. Level 50 is probably halfway to 70. Time-wise. So 58 is kind of like they're cutting your leveling time, I guess, by like 65%. We'll say 70%. It does take a while to level from, you know, 58 to 70. Our Paladin takes at least, like, I'd say around 48 to 50 hours. Unless you're doing, like, some crazy boosting. Or you're in, like, a pretty sweaty dungeon group that's just, you know, able to pull a bunch of mobs and not die because they have a bunch of, you know, AtlasLoot. But if you're just rolling in with, you know, communal gear, it'll take you a while. It's kind of how we were with this Paladin. Our gear really sucked. Didn't have any raid gear going into the expansion. It would have been fun playing the mage in TBC, though. He would have been an animal. Like, the Naxloot's really strong. A lot of it you might not even replace, even at pretty much during the entire leveling process. Interesting to compare some of this stuff we got. Like, what's this mace that we currently have? The Hatebringer compared to like a Nax and a mace from Nax. Just a two-handed weapon from Nax. Might of Menethil. Way better. Yeah, Might of Menethil is pretty strong, man. So yeah, as you can see, right? Like, you would use the Might of Menethil from Kel'Thuzad if you got that, all the way to probably to 70. Same with this Claymore of Unholy Might. You would use this instead. It's pretty comparable to Hatebringer, though. It's close. I had to compare like a chest piece or something like that. What's another item we got? See the shield Death's Bargain. 78 block, 3,570 armor. Compared to this shield. Yeah, this shield's even with like a lot better Death's Bargain. This is the one I had on my warrior. I was playing. Pretty cool looking shield. That's better than pretty much any shield that we picked up so far, even the Petrified Lichen. Petrified Lichen's pretty good though. It has 24 stam on it. It says more block and armor and for the spell crit mana per 5. They're comparable. This one has more stam and strength, which is nice to have. But they're close. We had to do a lot to get that shield. Took us to like level 66 to get it. And if you go into Wrath of Lich King with TBC gear, you can use your TBC stuff for quite a while. Some TBC stuff you'll even use, like some set pieces are so good that you'll use them for the first phase of Wrath of Lich King. Remember, there's like a rogue set piece that I had that was really good that you want to save for Wrath. It's from, I believe, Sunwell Plateau. Does it show the tier gear? It is the wrists. There's the rug. Okay, this is it here. I believe it's Slayer's Bracers. Increases the haste from your slice and dice ability by 5%. I believe that's what it is. Awesome 2-set. I think you do like the wrists and the gloves or something like that, or wrists and boots. Or boots and gloves. But the 2-set's really good. 5% haste when you use slice and dice, and you pretty much have slice and dice up the whole time when you're playing a rogue. So you'll take 2 Slayer's pieces over, and you won't really replace those at 80. And then there's the Warglaives. You can obviously take the Warglaives to 80. You won't replace those while you're leveling. I leveled my rogue up. I think I leveled him to 70 now. To like 1 bar away from 80. I kept him as like a twink character. I don't know if you guys know what a twink character is, but it's a character you just keep at 79 or like 69, 59, 19. And they're just for battlegrounds. And people just deck out level 19s or level 29s. Depends on what bracket you want to play in. And you just deck them out for PvP, and they're like an OP character for that battleground group. Because the max level for it would be 79, so from the 70 to 79 bracket, our rogue would be pretty strong, and we'll be able to use like our Warglaives, and the Warglaives would still be useful. That's why I did that. I also did that because I was going to play my Druid as like my main character for Wrath of Lich King, and played him all the way to up to Heroic ICC, and we took down the Lich King on a Heroic. I hope to do that again, either on this Paladin or maybe a Warlock or a new class. People play DK, who knows. Alright, so we got all those mobs there. We'll deal with a few wind rocks on our way back. Didn't get much XP though, killing that stuff. Got like a bar from killing all that. It was like 60 mobs, maybe 65 mobs. We'll get it. You get mostly your XP from quest turn-ins still. Let's see how much we get from the 2 quests we turn in here.
Keep a sharp eye, adventurer. You never know when some beastie is stalking you instead of the other way around. A fair start.
Yeah, not much.
That's just the beginning. The lesser cliff
Just 20K.
prove nothing. Let's move you up to a bigger challenge. You've proved to me that you can find and take down a regular clefthoof, but far more dangerous are the clefthoof bulls. Bag yourself 12 of those. Then you can talk to me of your hunting prowess. Look for them all along the middle region of Negran to the west and south.
That's a good tale of how you bagged all of those stags, adventurer. But I think that you can do better. I've got something else in mind for you. This darn scratch is getting the worst of me, it would seem. So are you up to filling in for me again? This time you're going to bag yourself some thorn razors. They're tougher and wilier than the stags, so keep your wits about you. Look for them. Sheltered under the trees in the middle of Negran to the west and south. Go on, get out there and show Hemet what you're made of. I'll be fine.
All right, well, looks like we got the thorn grazers and the bulls to deal with now. Still have to take down some wind rocks. And then I believe after that, maybe there's one more group. And then we fight an elite. We'll eventually complete these quest chains, guys. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. Next episode, we will probably be in a dungeon again. Either Akanai Crypts, hopefully. If we can't get into an Akanai Crypts, then most likely a Manitombs. It seems like Manitombs is pretty damn popular. And it would be good to get in there and actually kill some bosses this time. So we can hopefully get a wrist upgrade. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.